Okay, today we're going to look at Lesson 2, Areas of Triangles. This is in Chapter 9. In the last lesson we learned about the area of parallelograms and rectangles, and we learned that we had to use a formula. Same with triangles. Since a triangle is half of a parallelogram, we're going to use a formula very similar to a parallelogram, but since it's half, we can either do one of these two formulas. We have A equals a half BH. That means you're going to multiply it all together, or you can use area equals base times height divided by 2. And this is the one I'm going to be looking at. But if you would like to use that one, you can do it too. You'll get the same answer. So this is the first little example. I'm going to go ahead and skip that. If you need to look at it later, you can. Let's look down at our first thing. We have a triangle on graph paper. If you notice, it doesn't tell us the numbers, so we're going to have to count. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the base equals 6 units. And I know it's going to be labeled units because it doesn't have any label after it. So when it doesn't have a label, you're going to use units. Let's say the height. 1, 2, 3. So the height equals 3 units. First thing we're going to do is rewrite our formula. So I have area equals base times height divided by 2. And now I'm going to fill it in. And because we're multiplying, it doesn't matter which way you put the numbers in. But I'm going to do 6 times 3 divided by 2. 6 times 3 is 18. And 18 divided by 2 equals 9. And now we have to label it. Since we did units and we multiplied them together, it's going to be units squared. Remember, when you're dealing with area, it's always going to have that little 2 up at the top. That means squared. Let's take a look at the next one. So this one, it gives us the numbers. We have a 9 and a 7. So we're going to go ahead and write our formula. A equals base times height divided by 2. Now we're going to plug it in. So we have 9 times 7 divided by 2. 9 times 7 is 63. And then 63 divided by 2. I know 2 can't go into it evenly because 3 is an odd number. So we're going to have a decimal. So since we have a leftover here, we're going to add a decimal, bring it down, and we get a 5. Some of you may be able to do that in your head, and that's great. If you can't, make sure you're working it out. The last thing we need to do is put our label on it, so units squared. Okay, so we know how to find it when it gives us both the base and the height, but over on this side, it's going to be finding the missing dimension. So they're going to give us the area, and then just only one side, and we have to find the other one. So let's take a look down here. We're going to always start by writing area equals base times height divided by 2 first. In this case, I know the area is 40, so we're going to have 40 equals, if you see here, the height is 8, and we don't know what b is. So we have 8b divided by 2. Let's look at the 8 divided by 2, and that's 4. So 40 equals 4b. The opposite of multiplying by 4 is dividing by 4. 40 divided by 4 is 10, so b equals, not 40, sorry, equals 10 meters, because our label is meters squared up here, but since we're only finding the base, it's not going to be squared, we're just going to have a plain meters. Let's take a look at the next one. I'm going to write the formula, A equals base times height divided by 2. We're trying to find the height on this one. So we're going to plug 72 in for A. So 72 equals, our base is 12, and H divided by 2. So 12 divided by 2 is 6. So let's rewrite that. So we have 72 equals 6H. And then the opposite of multiplying by 6 is dividing by 6. And 72 divided by 6 is 12. So we get 12, and then our yards for our label. And it's not squared because it's only one of the dimensions, it's the height. We only square it when it's area. If you need more help, make sure you're coming in for study hall, or that you're checking out other videos on YouTube or Khan Academy.